What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and welcome back to yet another post-match fan show. The post-match fan show is your opportunity, it is your chance to have your say on everything Tottenham related. But Sim, how do they have their say?
Well, before every single post-match fan show, the link for the fan show is in the description below, where you'll be taken to the back end. You'll be see everyone waiting, and before we bring you on live on the fan show, live on YouTube, to have your say. But gold members, all gold members get priority for the fan show because we have a lot of callers waiting, so we gave priority to gold members. But how do you become a gold member?
I'm glad you asked me that, Sim, because it is very, very easy to become a gold member. There's actually two tiers of memberships: silver membership and gold membership. Silver membership, you get custom emojis, you get badges next to your name saying how long you've been a member, and you get monthly shout outs. But for the gold membership, you get everything that is in the silver perks, plus you get priority to come on to each and every one of our post-match fan shows. But not only that, you get monthly prizes as well. 3 gold members every month get called out from a hat on our last live watch long of every single month. And the 3 prizes are: the third prize will be a flag and a program. The second prize will be one of these lovely We Are Tottenham TV shirts. We have 8 colours of them. Link in description, by the way, if you want to buy one. And number one prize for the giveaway is a signed Tottenham Hotspur shirt. So our first month, we gave away a signed shirt from Toby Alderweireld, and we have got many more signed shirts to give away. So click the link below, join our gold membership, and be in it to win it.
All right, now is the time for you guys to have your say. I want to hear your opinions on all things Spurs and the latest match action. Looking forward to having you guys on and hearing your opinions.
All right, we'll see you on the fan show.
Come on, you Spurs.
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another live phone-in show. Tottenham have got beat 2-0 at home against Leicester today in a shocking defeat, to be honest. I just felt that the players didn't give enough today. I genuinely believe that. In the second half, when you're trying to push for the game, just not enough going forward from us with a host of attacking talent on the pitch. There really was. But on the flip side of it, you got to say that Leicester, they came and did a job on us, and credit to them because they did it to perfection. And I thought they played really well today, Leicester. How do you assess that, Sim?
Yeah, it was a game against, a rival, which we've usually been quite good against our direct rivals this season. And it's a game, especially on the back of the last 2 results, we really need to be up for. We needed to get a result today. And the way we performed when we went 1-0 down was just shocking and worrying at the same time, that we couldn't create a thing. We couldn't open up Leicester even once down the middle. Individual mistakes is what caused us to be 1-0 down. But once we are 1-0 down, we have to respond as a team, and we have to make sure we get back in the game. And if anything, Leicester looked like they were going to get two, or we got two, obviously, but they're the only ones who were going to score in that second half, not Tottenham. So it's worrying. It's definitely worrying, and coupled with the fact that since the West Ham game, we haven't created too many chances from open play throughout those games since West Ham, despite results being good. It's a worrying trend for us that going forward, we seem to rely on balls over the top or good individual moments. And, before the West Ham game, we were creating lots of chances, playing good football. And we've seemed to have lost that element of the team. And I always felt like when we needed to, we could get back to that and get back to playing some good football if we did go 1-0 down. But we showed today that it's not so easy. It's not so easy to just get back into the flow of things when you need to. So, look, all credit to Leicester because I thought they defended so well, and I thought they defended as a team. They do to us what we usually do to a lot of teams today. Yeah. But I think you've got to be worried as a Tottenham fan, seeing how porous we were going forward. You have to be a bit worried about that, and we need to. Mourinho really needs to identify the problem there, because it's all well and good defending well and stuff, and we do defend well. But when Aurier does that stupid penalty, which Mourinho can't legislate for, he needs to have a plan for that, for a plan for when you go 1-0 down, and we didn't seem to have one.
Yeah, yeah. Let's start getting guests on. Let's go to Ariane first. Let's see what he has to say. Ariane, how do you assess that?
How you doing, guys? First thing I want to say actually is I thought there was gonna be a pre-match show, and I was waiting for that. Apparently there wasn't, which is the own thing. On the day of the Liverpool loss, I actually came on here as well, and I was having a lot of I was having to go at Bergwijn a lot, specifically on Twitter as well. If you guys saw that, I'm not quite sure. I wanted to apologize here as well about for that, because I don't think it was necessary, but I don't want to drag it on for too long because this is a post-match fan show for a game. But I just wanted to get that. I just want to get that on my chest.
All right. Let's talk about the game though today. How did you assess? How did you assess what actually went wrong today?
Look, I don't even know everything. What went right? I missed the first quarter of the game or so, but apparently not much went on there. If anything, it was just poor. I came on, I saw that. First thing I saw was the Harry Kane free kick. It's like we were just sloppy, nothing creative. No one looked like they wanted to play. We looked a lot like Arsenal this season. If we had the ball, it was sideways, backwards. Every time we went forward, nothing was happening. Crosses into the box that nothing, like with nothing at the end of it. Like it was really, really, really poor. Like I didn't, and defensively we would have been fine. Aurier, when we go 1-0 down there, then you just force the defense to push up. You force the fullbacks to push up, which they didn't even do anything. It's just I didn't really see any real attacking threat or any defensive solidity. Obviously, Vardy gets in through, just puts it into the box, but they don't even need a player. Toby Alderweireld can't do anything. He's in a poor position, unfortunately, but. Goes in 2-0, that's the game over. You just no attacking threat today. I don't get it. I think Kane wasn't as creative as he normally is. Son wasn't as clinical as he normally is. It was just really poor. I don't understand what went wrong, but nothing was just coming off today.
Do you think our the defenders, Dyer and Toby, right? They've struck up a really good partnership this season. We've all seen it, and ever since the Burnley game, well, we've been defending very well. But today, in the second half, we had to push up a bit to try and force the issue. And I think, could you reckon we could see why we play such a low block at times? Because they kind of really got exposed on the counter-attack a lot, Dyer and Toby. And I felt like they couldn't really cope with Maddison, Vardy and Barnes going the other way when they were forced to leave space in behind.
I think that's partially the reason we play a low block. I think it also has to do. I think it also is related to other things. But we saw last season, you put these center backs under pressure, they're not going to perform. Obviously, I would argue that's that's like true for most center backs. But obviously, we as a club have ambitions, and for that, you want to have elite players in every position where they can cope with even different systems, where they don't have to rely on low blocks to defend competently. So I think that is part of the reason we play a low block, because when they get exposed, when Højbjerg is pushing up a little bit, can't protect them from everywhere, the fullbacks can't protect them from everywhere, and they have to deal with every single attacking threat. That's when you start to see a little bit of a weak defensive link, and that kind of worries me, because you have sides that can really expose that. Leicester obviously being one of them. Liverpool, as we saw, they just teams with pacey, quick counterattacks, similar to how we play, can easily expose that. And it could be worrying. We have to figure something out for it. I think we have the tactical flexibility to play in different systems. We saw that at the very beginning of the season, where we're scoring for fun. And it does really frustrate me that we don't go for that. We don't play like that the first 20, 30, 40 minutes, get a goal or two, and then defend. It frustrates me that we try to sit back and just hold on and then do nothing with it until we inevitably go 1-0 down, and then try to nick something. And even today, we couldn't do that. And it's worrying and it's frustrating. And I think this game really did knock us out of the title race. I cannot see us getting there anymore. I think we're even a top four. I think it's more than achievable, obviously top four, but even that's not guaranteed. We're fifth place as things stand. And going from first to fifth in 5 days, name something more Spursy than that. It's gonna be it's gonna be difficult to get back to that position, and it's gonna be also difficult to really try to nail down a spot in the top 3 or 4. So I mean, that's I can't really say anything more.
Yeah, look, it was always very early on, wasn't it? So it was always going to be, you always have to show consistency, and we were showing consistency, I thought, throughout the season. But the last 3 games, we've kind of let our standards slip. But I think it's more to do with, in the last 3 games, that our lack of ambition going forward is coming back to bite us a bit, because all of a sudden we're conceding a couple goals, and then our lack of creativity is coming back to bite us, because we can't. We're not able to hit them on the going the other way. But it's difficult at the moment. But do you think that the way we play anyway, they have been playing, when you create those individual mistakes, that it makes it so much harder to get the result? Because, in the first half, although we weren't playing well, it was a very tight game. It was quite an even game, and we just give them a 1-0 head start with that Aurier penalty.
Look, everything gets difficult with individual mistakes, especially penalties like that. Just completely unnecessary. Like, I don't know what Aurier was even doing. Like, does he think Fofana was going to do like a rainbow flick over him out of nowhere? He's a center back. Like, obviously, it becomes more difficult. The first half I've heard was relatively just poor, but from what I saw in the 30th minute, 40th, and 20th minute from like the 40th, it was, like you said, it was relatively even. You could have seen, like Kane hitting something for Son to finish to make it 1-0. It was more than possible. But then when you give them that, you force yourself to push up in a system you're clearly not comfortable playing with, or anymore. And then you also have the problem of you're more defensively you're more defensively open, and when you have a player like Vardy and Maddison who can send in a great pass, we should have been 3-0 down at the end of the game. The fact that that goal was offside was just weird. It didn't look offside even one bit. But individual mistakes make everything more difficult. I think if we want to really improve our form this season and play in this system, January transfer window is going to be important, because when you've got players that are mistake prone, when you've got positions that more or less you don't have security in, or you don't have the right players in, specifically I want to say right wing. I don't think we have anybody clinical there. I don't think we have anybody who can create much there. I know Bergwijn does the defensive work, but he doesn't really push forward. Lucas doesn't do either at this point. Lamela is still injured, and Gareth Bale is still yet to come good. I don't think we're going to get a right winger, but that could be a position that we could improve if we want to somehow get into the title race again this season, or just guarantee a spot in the top 4 in a trophy. We need someone who is an attacking threat just outside of Son and Kane, whether that be right wing, whether that be in midfield. We just need some kind of way to get more goals without having to rely on the same 2, because you can't rely on them every game. If you only rely on 2 players, all that means is when they have a bad game, the entire team has a bad game, and when they have a bad patch of form, the entire team has a bad patch of form. So that, I mean, yeah, that's, I can't really say much. There's just not much to say because I normally want to talk about positives, and when you've got a game like that where there's almost nothing, it becomes much more difficult.
All right, Ariane, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you guys.
Hopefully next time under better circumstances.
Yeah. Have a great show, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come
Come
on.
on, Spurs. Let's go to Mike Kelly.
Guys, how we
How's
doing?
it going, Mike? How's it going, Mike? How do you assess that today?
Well, I think Ben and Sim, you guys got it spot on in the beginning. Obviously, we could talk about how poor they were, but I do want to give Leicester a fair shake because what I am sick of, I don't know if you guys have the same coverage in the UK, but when you play a team like Leicester, every time they put in a good shift, it sounds like the announcers are stunned. I mean, they're a good team, Leicester. I mean, they put in a good performance. I'm sick of hearing when I watch games like it's the biggest upset in the world. Yeah, we should win the game, but Leicester are a good side. Let's not forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know what? Leicester being a good side, we've beaten them 4 of our last 5 games against them. We should not be losing to Leicester at home. We should just not.
Absolutely
I'm not.
not. Especially not scoring. Not scoring is unacceptable.
Exactly, and you know what? It's not even kind of the result that's really the most hurting today. It's the way we played, in my opinion, is that hurts us the most. I mean, when you're pushing for a goal in that second half, there's just no creativity there whatsoever. Yes, I know Ndombele went off at halftime and Lo Celso was dragged off just shortly after that, but still, we're supposed to have one of the best squads we've ever had right now, and we just look toothless going forward today, and I just don't know what that's down to.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to put your finger on it, but what I will say is the mentality, if we're going to be a team that needs to defend and is comfortable defending, the first goal, no matter how you concede it, has to be ours. And if it's not, that ruins our whole game plan, and all of us know it. As soon as that goal goes in, when Leicester can sit back, we're in deep trouble. Against Crystal Palace a week ago, they just conceded 7 yesterday. There's something different about us when a team sits back, and that's
Yeah.
clearly obvious. And I think part of that is Sonny is just way more useful against a team that's pressing forward and hitting him on the counter. It's very difficult for him to get a shot off when he's got 2 or 3 guys standing around him around the box, and same with Kane. What I will say is part of my issue, and I'm not trying to scapegoat a player because this guy is become a great player for Spurs, but Moussa Sissoko, in games when we go behind, he cannot stay in the midfield. I know he moved out to right back, but really, what is that doing then? We're bringing on Winks. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the one area we need to address in January is center mid who can go box to box, defend and create. I would go after Sabitzer from Leipzig. I think that's a perfect fit. They just brought in somebody from Salzburg.
Yeah.
So bring in this guy. He fits the profile, and I'm not slating Sissoko. I think he does a great job for the team against City, against Liverpool, against bigger sides. But when we need a goal, and your midfielder is tentative on the ball, let's be honest, he's very tentative on the ball. We've known this for a while. It hurts creating going forward. That's half your midfield today. Once Gio and Tanguy went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Sissoko wasn't that useful in that second half because we kind of, when we have a lot of the possession, he doesn't really do much. But how do we stop this rut? Well, it's not a proper rut yet, but it's bad bit of form. But how do we go about creating more chances? Because the way at the moment we're defending low, I feel like is because Dyer and Toby, I feel like they're our best defensive partnership, but they can get exposed if we leave pacing behind, and that showed today. But if we push up more regularly, then who do we play at centre back? If we're going to start pressuring teams higher up the pitch, if we want to start creating more chances, it's difficult because then you have to rely on either Sanchez or Tanganga or someone like that.
I would give Rodin a shot and go 3 at the back and get Reguilon pushing up forward. I mean, if you watch, Jose loves Reguilon going forward, and I think he is one of our paciest players and best attackers at the moment. Like, I don't know, it's a difficult one, like you say, but it's just hard to put your finger on why we can't create, but it needs to be better in all areas of the pitch today. I can't really say one guy had a great performance. I thought Harry Kane worked hard, but there was nothing there.
All right, Mike. Thanks for coming on, mate.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers. Grandpa, can you put yourself on mute, please? Grandpa. Classic Grandpa. No, let's get. Are we getting on Grandpa next? Grandpa, you're in the back end, but you're not on mute, so everyone can hear you. Can you put yourself on mute?
Can you hear me now?
He's on.
Oh, he's on.
Oh, I didn't realize you're on. Grandpa, how you doing?
Yeah, you're up.
I'm doing good. All right. So are you in the studio?
I'm in the studio. Simeon's not in the studio.
Hi, Grandpa.
All right. So well, you know what? Great news. 2-0. We scored 2 goals. The only problem was it wasn't for us.
Yeah, we scored one of them.
So
we pretty much gave him 2. Grandpa's right.
Oh, both really. Yeah, penalty, didn't we? So you could say that was Orion's goal, you know.
Yeah.
No, I think it was. I think we've lost them. We lost all momentum. They outbeat us in every single area. They were faster, quicker. Their passes were more precise. You know, I suppose our defence wasn't bad, but in the end, if we lose 2 goals in defence, then you can't say it was foolproof. And we weren't breaking. We broke through just so few times, but we were outrun. You know, we've got pace in our team, and are they tired? Are they exhausted? Are they not training well enough, or what is it? And that's my concern. We really loved that game. Truly, there was nothing. I couldn't really begin to say who was our top player. Probably Hobie. It probably was the best, but nobody really was outstanding.
Yeah.
So not my normal upbeat self.
But Grandpa, being a leader yourself, a training leader for training, how do you dust this team off and get them back to where they were like a month ago?
They've got to you know, when they've got intent and they play hard and they run fast and they attack every single ball, that's when we're good. And obviously we can do it. So I think it's about Marino really getting behind them and kicking their ass.
Yeah.
And really getting them to push. You know, what the Lachy said were the best team lost. This time he can't say that. I think that's in the end. It's down. You're right. It's leadership. Marino's got it. His players didn't play for him, and I don't know why. And I just can only assume that there's been too much football. They haven't had enough rest, or they're not exercising enough, because there was no pace today.
Yeah.
In fact, when Mora came, it was a little bit better, strangely enough.
Yeah, but did you think Mourinho, when Aurier is doing things like that in the first half, giving away penalties like that, how much harder does it make for us to get the result when players are making such inexplicable mistakes?
Of course, it makes it hard. And it's a shame because Aurier was having quite a good game, I thought, up to that point. Yeah. But yeah, he's done it so often. But they've just given him a contract, I believe. So
it's not signed just yet. Daniel Levy still has the power to pull that under the pen.
Yeah, I think he's got potential. I think he's been better these last games. This was just, one of those things.
Yeah.
Toby really couldn't get out of the way of that ball. I can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They've just one of the things I've always looked at, is with Son leading the way, we had pace. All the time we had pace, and they didn't have the pace. None of them.
Yeah, it's because
Son run around like a lost. Kane was in it a bit. And they did have, 20 minutes at the end where I think we were on top for a bit. But we were giving the ball away too often. No, I'm still hopeful. I'm still hopeful we'll come back. But I think we'll probably go down to about 6 now. I don't know. You heard the Manchester score, have you?
4-1 at the
Against
moment.
Leeds.
4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
They got
before,
one, did they?
just before you go, Grandpa, I want to get your thoughts on this. We got a super chat from Sukran Bart, and he says, Sim, you not being in the studio was a bad omen today. He needs to come back soon. Maybe that's why we lost today, Grandpa, eh?
That's what it feels like, I think. Definitely.
No, yeah, I'm sure that's right. But I'm sure everybody knows that you're isolating, and you've all got to isolate as well. And Ben's being a little bit naughty, but I'll blame Simeon. He's sticking to the rules.
Live with us. Ben doesn't live with us.
I don't live there, Grandpa. I don't need to isolate by the letter of the law.
You weren't naughty, but I thought you'd been there for dinner on Friday.
No.
Anyway, that's not the point. Is it's not helped with this virus. But I don't think you can blame the team for it. You can't blame Simeon, or you've got to blame the players.
Yeah.
I don't think you can even blame Mourinho.
I think Mourinho's going to mention me in his post-match press conference.
All right, Grandpa. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Oh, that'll make you more famous. Anyway, have a good chat with everybody, and let's get intent behind them. That's the main thing. They've got to always play with intent.
And we need to stay positive.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Grandpa.
And Leicester were good.
Yeah.
They played with it. They were faster than us. They had a good game.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, guys. Let's hope Wednesday is a good game for us.
All right. Thanks, Grandpa.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
See you, Grandpa.
Okay.
Let's go over to Alex Samuels.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, Alex. I see where the camera's focused on. I see where the camera's focused on.
Yeah.
We won't talk about your room today. It's a bit too depressing to talk about.
I'm in a new room. It's not. I'm back home, so no, this one's much cleaner. Yeah.
Alex, going on to the game today, just quickly, is it becoming worrying for you about us and being able to create goal chances against low block teams? Because I think it's starting to become a real big issue, isn't it?
But this has been the case for years with Spurs. Yeah. That's the problem. We haven't been able to, Burnley come to Tottenham and put 11 men behind the ball, and we can't break them down. I remember game against West Brom a few years back, 1-1 at Wembley. There's so many different times where this has happened, and Leicester got their tactics spot on today. With how they managed our counter-attack, but also effectively caused problems for us. And yes, 2 of the goals were essentially unforced errors. And maybe the own goal was a bit difficult to defend against, but still, you can't really be conceding those sorts of things. And I'm not even going to talk about him, to be honest. I give him praise, and then he does this.
Yeah,
really, don't even want to talk about it. I think that. It's been a concern for a long time, and look, as soon as I thought it was a bit weird taking off Ndombele at halftime, but he had to sacrifice one of them because they clearly can't play together, Lo Celso and Ndombele. And from the times we've seen it happen now, and essentially,
I actually don't think it's a case of they can't play together. I don't believe that. I mean, they weren't playing in a pivot together today. You know what I mean? Lo Celso was more on the right-hand side.
Yeah, but still, the times where we've seen it, I mean, Mourinho clearly, if he's taking off Ndombele at half-time to change the system, clearly he doesn't really, I don't know if he's going to fancy it from now on.
Because indeed, he dominated him, that's why.
I thought Ndombele was poor today, and I think he went off rightly so, to be fair.
I thought Ndombele had a good few sparks, but maybe that's actually something we should expect from him every single game, and perhaps he does need to be doing more, putting more through balls in, for example. I thought, especially at the beginning of the game, he actually was doing all right. But yeah, I think you're right. As the half went on, he did weigh in a bit. But when as soon as Lascelles got injured, I thought that was game over for me. Because you can't. We had no midfield. We had literally zero midfield or creativity whatsoever on the pitch. Who was the creative person on that pitch apart from Kane, who was struggling himself today? And if you don't have creative players, you can't break teams down. Just ask Arsenal. That's how it works. So and
let me ask you, Alex. Do you have sympathy with Mourinho today in terms of at halftime going into the break? It was an even game. It was 0-0. We weren't exactly. It wasn't Leicester on top or us on top. We had a few moments. They had a few moments, and it was kind of just an even game. And then Aurier does something inexplicable, gives him a goal.
Yeah.
And then going into the second half, he does all these changes. Bale comes on the right-hand side. He's moved Lo Celso into the centre. And then 1 minute into the second half, Lo Celso pulls up. So he's got an injury there. And then all of a sudden, we're forced into chasing a game without our creative bullets. So, or do you think, even though we had all those situations against us, should he have been doing a lot more to get back into this game?
Neither of those, actually. Neither of them. You know what? 2 creative players go off. I wonder where we can get another creative midfielder from. I wonder where there's one. Oh yeah, he sat at home playing Fortnite.
With 9 substitutes as well, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no reason today why Dele Alli wasn't on that bench, and I bet Mourinho regrets that, because if we were crying out for a player like him, he could have, at the same time, performed awfully. But the fact is, you have to have a creative player in the centre of that pitch to make stuff happen for you. And we didn't have that. We had Harry Winks. I mean, when we brought Harry Winks on, I was like, oh my God, like seriously, this is ridiculous that we're bringing on basically a defensive midfielder or a sideways passer to actually create stuff. I mean, That's what I think about it. We should have had Dele Alli on the bench because he's the only other creative midfielder we've got. That's what I feel.
Would you take Eriksen back in January?
No, not a chance.
Still not.
Not a chance. If Dele Alli can't find his way into the 9 on the bench or even the first team squad, first 11, then how's Eriksen with his? I mean, he hasn't been good for basically a year, probably more. So. I wouldn't take Eriksen back. I think that it would be going backwards. I think I'd like to explore other avenues. I know that I don't think we are going to make a signing in January. I feel like we do have a good squad. We definitely have a good squad. We're going through a tough spell. This is our first tough spell of the season. I don't think it's not like we're going to finish 15th or anything. We're not like we're in relegation trouble. It's just that we're going for a tough spell. We're not going to win the league. We know that now. Us going to Palace and not scraping, but succumbing to a 1-1 draw, and then Liverpool putting 7 past them, I think kind of proves that. I know it's just one result, but still, it's a big statement. We're too inconsistent. That's the thing. And there wasn't a lot to take from this game. It was kind of like the Everton game at the start of the season for me.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of similarities. But after the Everton game, we bounced back. We actually looked very, very good. Went on a massive lossless streak in the Premier League.
We also signed 7 new players or something.
Oh yeah, that did help, to be fair. But this reminds me of that, and it's just, can Mourinho pick the players up after this? I do feel like the Liverpool game might have been a bit of a blow to them mentally, because we've been hyped up for a lot of the season as title challengers, people who can win the league. And I think that was just kind of putting us back in our place, to be honest, that we're not there yet.
I'm sorry, though. The mentality can't be so weak that you lose a game. And then the mentality can't be so weak that you lose a game and then that happens. You know what I mean? We were going for the league title this year, and suddenly it's all shit just because our mentality is not right. That is the only reason these things are happening. It's an absolute joke, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's happened loads. This happens all the time.
I agree with you. And now looking forward, Giovanni Lo Celso being out for what, a minimum of 2 weeks now. Ndombele can't even complete 90 minutes. Where are we going to get our creativity from?
I think that Dele Alli's got to be a part of the solution here. You can't have a player. He's been performing very badly I know he's made some cameos which have been good, but he's fighting for his Tottenham career at the moment. If he even has one, to be honest, and
Yeah.
I'm not even sure he does.
Oh, has someone got David Harris on? Who's someone put David Harris on? He's on screen. Sorry, someone's put David Harris on screen.
What? Why is David Harris on screen?
David, he was smoking. Someone put him on screen.
Where's Alex gone?
I don't know what just happened there, but someone swapped out Alex with David.
Alex, you're back on.
Oh, I don't. Yeah,
I don't know what
happened.
happened.
I
I literally don't know what happened there.
Sorry about that, David.
No, look, it's just gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen now because it's so concerning that we can't break teams down, and it hasn't been getting better. Doesn't seem like Mourinho's really affected it because it was the same under Pochettino. We can't break teams down. It's not something that's just unique to us. A lot of teams in the league can't do it, but that's no excuse.
Yeah.
I don't really. I don't know. Go from here. Who's our next league match? I think.
Wolves.
That'll be fun.
Wolves away, yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Can't wait. Can't wait for Adam Traore to meet Aurier and say hi to him. Well, or Ben Davis, or I don't know.
At the end of the day, though, however doom and gloom this loss is, us as fans, we need to find some sort of way to pick ourselves up and be positive because this negativity will only breed negativity.
There's a lot to be positive about.
Our squad's great. Our squad is really good. Players aren't firing though. There's a lot of potential in our squad. And at the end of the day, this is our first bad patch of the season. We've got Stoke in the League Cup coming up. It's a nice way to bounce back. You'd hope.
You'd hope, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, don't even put that thought in my head.
Dr. Tottenham.
Dr. Tottenham, I'm here to help you out. Yeah. But I think there is lots to be positive about. I still think top four we should have. Really, I think we have to get top four. I think it'll be a massive failure if we don't, and a trophy along the way. I think it is.
That's what we asked for at the beginning of the season, isn't it? So
yeah, top four and trophy. It's what we've wanted for years. Hasn't happened yet, but you know what? All I've said since the beginning of Mourinho is we just have to have. If we get the results, I don't actually care about the performance. But at the moment, we're not getting the results, so I'm going to criticise. So, but as soon as we get the results, I'm happy. That's all. That's all.
All right, Alex. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
nice one, Alex.
Let's go to Marcelo next.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Marcelo. Yes, Marcelo. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all I have to say is, David, pass whatever you're smoking, bro. I need that right now. You know what I mean, man? Oh man, that was. I woke up in the morning for that, bro. You know what I mean? I'm tired.
An hour ago, bro.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? Good news. At least I graduated this week. Congratulations, me.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Great way of Tottenham to celebrate it with me with a loss.
Exactly. Whenever you go up, you must come down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, listen, we went first place to fifth. We went to sixth place to first. You know what I mean? So saying we can't bounce back is pure negativity. We're not in a good moment right now. As far as the league title hopes, hey, listen, I said I'll ride that train, until it died, and let's just say that train went to a different direction, and now it's onto Europa and winning a cup.
So you think the title hopes are completely dead now?
I wouldn't say it's completely dead, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's because you see, listen, with me, I thought the mentality changed with the team. And we're just kind of I see these same players kind of showing the same mentality. When with Pochettino, whenever we were firing, we looked like a squad that can win the league. You know what I mean? People would seriously be, threatened. But then whenever we had a setback, we kind of crumbled and we kind of lost momentum. And throughout the season, we had a couple setbacks with West Ham, Everton, and we bounced back from them. And so I thought maybe this was just a squad that could keep that consistent run. And maybe they fooled me, man. But like, listen, I'm not gonna say it's completely dead, but it was definitely today was definitely like a real kick in the gut. And honestly, in the beginning of the season, we all said top four in the trophy, and if we get a top four in the trophy, I'll be miles happy. I mean, come on, we can't be bad at a trophy. But yeah, listen, look, the title race isn't completely dead, but
Mhm.
yeah, this is definitely a massive blow to us. Massive
Yeah.
blow to us.
It's been a terrible week, hasn't it, Marcelo? But
Awful week. Yeah.
I want to know
Yeah.
from you, like, in terms of how today's game went. We're going into halftime 0-0. It's quite a close game. Neither team are really the better side or creating much. And then Aurier gives away that stupid penalty, ridiculous penalty, giving them a 1-0 advantage. And then at the start of the second half, Mourinho makes a couple tactical changes, brings on Bale, takes off Ndombele, and then Lo Celso pulls up. A minute into the second half, and we all of a sudden have no creativity on the pitch. Do you have sympathy for Mourinho and how that game panned out, or do you think with the cards played to him, he could have played a better hand?
I think his substitution so far this season has been his biggest weakness. It's been really poor, man. So I'm not going to give him, too much sympathy because I felt like a no baller should have still stayed on the pitch. Whenever you have look, it doesn't matter if your creative midfielders maybe having a bad game. You know what I mean? When Kane is having a bad game, you often don't take him off just because it's Harry Kane. He can create something at any minute. Same with Endon Baller. You don't just take a guy like that off like in the 45th minute. You know what I mean? You got to give him a chance to, try to get himself and grow into the game. Because if something like that happens to Celso, then we're out of creative midfielders. And then we bring on Harry Winks when we need a goal, Like I thought wasn't like Bergwijn on the bench, wasn't Vinicius on the bench? Like, come on, man. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, like that type of substitution is really what just doesn't make any sense. You should have brought on Vinicius. Should have brought on someone else. You know what I mean? Someone like attacking threat. You bring on Winks.
I actually understood that substitution. I'll tell you why. First of all, I actually think we looked a bit better once Winks did come on in a weird way. We did. We were more better than that. We were not much better, but a tiny bit better, and not much that you could really get any encouragement out of. But the reason why he's brought on those players is because he's made a lot of substitutes already. He's got Bale, Kane, Son, and Lucas on the pitch, and all of a sudden, who's he got feeding them? He's got Sissoko and Højbjerg feeding them. He needed someone who's a bit of a quicker passer and a bit of more of a flat passer on the pitch to kind of get the ball to them quicker. And it didn't quite work, and especially seeing as we're 2-0 down, the bus was well and truly parked by Leicester, so it was very, very hard to get through them. And the only way through them was fight through the sides. And with Sissoko playing a right back, it didn't quite work. But I can understand the logic of the substitution. But yeah, look, I think once we conceded the second goal, for me, the game was always over without any creativity on the pitch.
Listen, we need to demand more from these wingers. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I love Bale. You saw my tweet for Bergwijn. I feel so bad for him. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve the hate he gets. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big Bergwijn supporter. I will always back Stevie. He's a young lad. Keep his chin up. But right now, he's not firing all cylinders. Lucas is not firing. You know what I mean? We need some of these folders to step up, man. You know what I mean? Like, Kane and Son can't be the only two people that can score a goal. Kane and Son can't be the only two people that can, create a chance. That's incredible. You know what I mean? These are forwards that are, getting paid quite a bit. And so, the only thing I will say this, I'll give you this positivity to hold on. The good news is that at least this is happening during January. And you never know because Levy definitely wants top four. He wants to secure that top four position, and he couldn't might as well panic, and we could buy some players. You know what I mean? That's the only good possible news we could have is that, since this is it's near January, we can maybe get a Marcel Sabitzer. It looks like Dele is going. He's probably going because he's not on the team sheet. I mean, with the wages he's in, he's playing Fortnite. Like, we don't want another Arsenal situation. He's gonna go. So we sell Dele, we get maybe a Sabitzer or someone to replace him. That could be good news. So at least it's in January that this is happening, and we can maybe resolve it. And it's going to give the Christmas time. I don't know. Maybe Jose, can solve it somewhere. But yeah, listen, man, it was a poor performance today. Poor performance. Like the Liverpool one, I could have stomached. You know what I mean? Because it's Anfield. We went out there, we gave them a fight, we gave them, we really had a chance winning that game. You know what I mean? I felt like we really had a chance of winning that game. This game, I felt like we had no chance, no opportunity. There was nothing. It was dead, boring performance. And listen, we deserved to lose today. At the end of the day, we deserved it.
All right, Marcelo.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's go.
We got a super chat here from Jerome Cloridor. Says, once again, we have shown we have a weak mentality. Lose at Anfield. Then we crumbled. Just a poor performance today. Bell looks a shadow of himself, and Delhi is not even in the team today. Bell would really struggle to get into the game that second half. No doubt about it.
Let's go to the Irish Yid.
The real Irish Yid.
Yeah, number one, Ireland's number one Spurs fan, as shown on We Are Tottenham TV on the weekend. Let's get David on. David,
apologies for getting you on too early, David.
No, don't worry about it, lad. Don't worry about it.
You might be doing something which got shown to the masses, but apologies about that.
Having a cigarette, you know yourself, lads.
Yeah, we know it. We know it too well, David.
You probably need a cigarette after that game, that's for sure.
David, how do you assess that performance today?
Look, I'm not going to come on here and sugarcoat. It's very disappointing. To me, I just think we looked very tired. I think the early rounds of the Europa League, the qualifier stages, and some of the big games we've played inside the first 13 games of this Premier League are catching up on us, to be honest. But look, it wasn't good enough. We weren't at the races from start to finish. We were poor, I thought. Aurier, stupid mistake for the penalty. I don't know what he was doing. There was no need to make the challenge. But at the same time, he's been phenomenal so far this season, you know. And then as well, look, our midfield, we just couldn't get a grip of the game, and our passing was too slow. You know, we didn't even try anything in a note going forward. We didn't try and put balls in behind. Like there was no runners going in behind to try and stretch them. It was just poor all around today.
There was no space in behind. That was the problem today.
No, but like, you know, you see City do it time and time again on Liverpool, where they can kind of put a ball towards, kind of lift it over in towards the back post, and you have a winger coming in, or you know, to get on the end of it and that. Like, and we just ran out of ideas there. I just thought we were very, very tired. I think the games are catching up on us now.
Do you think the reason in the second half we were lacking chance creation is because how well Leicester played, or do you think we could have been doing something very different with the players we had on our pitch to try and force the issue more?
Look, we probably had our best 11 out there today, in my opinion, and we just ran out of ideas, lads. Like the thing is, we were just too happy to just kind of pass it sideways and down the sides. We need to try something. Someone needs to get on the ball, grab their balls, and try something. You know what I mean? Try something different.
Yeah,
I agree.
In terms of the mentality in the team, with the last three results going the way they have, are you starting to question it again?
Look, first of all, I want to address this because as well, look, I have done a lot of title talk, but I want to take this opportunity to apologise to absolutely nobody, right? Because look, it's one bad week. It's one bad week, lads. That's all it is. You know, Liverpool are capable of dropping points. It's a very close league, and anything can happen. We're still in this. Look, the mentality issue. I don't think it's a mentality issue. I think we're just tired. I just think, look, we will get out of it. I firmly believe this. We will get out of it, and in a couple of weeks' time, or by the time we play Liverpool in January, who knows? If we beat them in January, we could go top. You know what I mean? And everybody else would be thinking different.
All right, but yeah, it's just a difficult one to take to
Yeah, look,
but
I'm as disappointed as everybody else. Don't get me wrong, I am. But look, I honestly still believe we're in for a shot. We're only 6 points off top at the end of the day. Still, if you look at it realistically,
it's still very tight at the top. It was all very tight. But Mourinho said it. He said it weeks ago. You know, what a few bad results and you're down in mid-table. A few good results and you're up there fighting. So. We just got to start getting results again. And although the last three results haven't gone our way, have you seen enough in it to make you think that we can move forward from it, or do you think the performances are starting to really slip?
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, Harry Kane can't be any worse than what he is. You know what I mean? Right wingers can't be any worse than what they have been. So at the end of the day, look, we just need to get Harry Kane going again, get him back involved in the game, get him back involved in front of goals. and we just need to start juicing off the right wing. But one thing as well today, lads, our subs came on and had no impact. Our fringe players really have to start doing more to help out our first 11. Honestly, like, you know, even in Europa League, it hasn't been good enough. At times, we've had to bring on Kane and Son when they should be rested. Like, you know, we talked about squad depth here at the start of the season, and we were thinking we probably had one of the best. Looking at it now, at the minute, we have one of the worst, because the players that aren't involved week in, week out, like, you know, it looks like they don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. And it's kind of a bit hard to take as well, as like, since that West Ham game, the team have had a bit of a creative void in the team. And with Lo Celso going off injured today, looks like it could be at least, 1 to 2 weeks minimum. Ndombele going off at half-time, having a poor performance. Dele Alli not even getting in the squad today. Where do you see the creativity coming from the midfield?
For me, lads, I don't know if you noticed, but I think we really missed Lamela. When Lamela was there, we were scoring goals. And the reason why is because we turn the ball higher up the field when he's on, with his aggression and his work rate and the way he's willing to chase down lost causes. And he just causes problems. Like, at the minute, we're too static. You know, we just lack creativity. But one thing I will say is, Ndombele, we have been on his back, and it is starting to piss me off that the guy can't complete 90 minutes. But, like, look, we're going to have to use him going forward, and we're going to have to get a tune out with this guy again. To be honest with you, it's hard to call what the problems are. I just think it's purely just down to tiredness at the minute, lads. And I do believe we will get over. I honestly do believe that.
And just before I let you go, David, I want to ask the question because nobody's really spoken about it yet. But when are we going to have the conversation about Gareth Bale?
Oh, we'll have that anytime you want, lads. I agree with you. It's something we do need to talk about. Like, look, at the end of the day, everyone was hyped when we signed him. We thought we'd definitely be able to get a tune out of him and that. And look, it just hasn't worked out. And to be honest with you, it's looking to me like he doesn't want to do the hard yards. He's just playing everything safe. And, you know, he's just struggling to get into the game. But it's the same with all of our substitutions. It's the same with all the fringe players. You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to have the Winks debate. I'm willing to have the Bale debate. I'm even willing to have a debate on Lucas Moura now at this stage because, like, look, I get the goals he got us for the Champions League final, but he just offers us none. And, you know, these players are the very like, a lot of these players are the very ones that, like, people are saying, oh, get these players in. You know, get them. Why aren't we playing Lucas? Why aren't we playing Bale? Why aren't we playing Winks? Why aren't we playing Sanchez? But there's a reason why we're not playing them, because anytime they get the opportunity, they don't take it. They don't offer that.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's the true fact of the matter, David. Thanks for coming on, mate. Always a pleasure.
No problems at all, lads. Thanks for having me. And remember, Ireland's #1.
See you later, David.
Nice.
See you Wednesday, lads. Hopefully, it'll be a good Christmas for us.
Hopefully, we'll be going to the semi-finals.
It'll be a nice bit of Christmas party.
All right. See you later, David.
I'll see you later, lads.
Let's go on to Alex, and then we'll finish on Josh.
Oh, now I want to hear what Josh has to say, actually. Oh, of course, we lose 2-0 and Alex is on. Come on, Alex, what you got? Well, what's the message today, Alex? I want to know.
Can you hear me, guys?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. How
very
you doing,
ominous
guys?
setting in your house. You're like the Grim Reaper.
No. Firstly, because I was just arguing with I went on this show on YouTube and they're all saying that we're bottlers and stuff, and I'm sorry, we're not bottlers. I might not. You know what I feel about the manager. But this team's not bottlers. We're not bottlers. I'm sorry. I think it's a weak argument when we say that we're bottlers. You know, the Liverpool game, it was a jammy goal that they scored, and you know we should have scored. I don't understand the criticism for Birdwin. I said Birdwin needs to evolve, and that's my proof that he needs to evolve. But, you know, there's no reason for people to have a go at him like that on Twitter. But, you know, that's people who are not worth my time. I'm not worth anyone's time. So that's wrong. And, you know, it should be back to football. So Birdwin, I was surprised he wasn't in the team today. I would have put him on than Moira, because nothing to do with Moira. But I think Moira is better with a tall striker up front, like he had with the Rente. I don't like him down the wings. He doesn't work. He just doesn't work for me. There's question about the centre-backs. I've said this already, and people question me on it, and this is the reason why. The pace situation is always an issue. Alderweireld hasn't got pace, and when you've got pace like Vardy, the pacey forwards, it's always going to be a problem. And also, we play a very low line, deep line as well. So when you've got a team like Leicester that can play a low block like they do, you have to play a high line. So unfortunately, you've got to look at players like Rodon. You've got to look at players like Sanchez, who have got pace. So that's why when it's a low block like Leicester do, it happened against Chelsea as well. We struggle. You see, I don't understand the criticism for. I don't really understand that we haven't got a creator. We've got Ali, and Ali is still going to have. I mean, from what I've heard from Alistair Gold, these couple of games during Christmas are very, very important for him.
Yeah, but he couldn't even get in the squad today, Alex. Wasn't even in the squad today, Alex?
I know. Well, I was surprised he wasn't in the squad because I would have not had Bell in the squad. To me, because I had the feeling I didn't really understand why he had been in the squad today. I've got to be honest. I thought I would have had Ali instead of him because I think the pace issue would have been a problem, especially if we went behind. On the Aurier issue, I'm not being funny, but I'm not going to criticise Aurier. It was a stupid tackle, yes, but this guy, like I said before, has gone through a lot this year, and I think Tottenham fans need to be respectful. He played through all of that last season when he didn't need to, and he's been playing well this season. So he's the last person I'm going to criticise. Granted, I agree
with you, Alex. I agree with you.
Granted, I did say we need to sell him, but the only reason why we need to sell him is because we've got too many foreign players because of the foreign player issue. That's the only reason. And that's why we can't buy Sabitzer in January. So I don't know why the Sabitzer is coming into it, because we need to slow our foreign player issue, because he can't fit in the squad otherwise. Who's going to come out of the squad otherwise? It doesn't make sense. So it's not going to happen.
I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Gazaniga's still in the Premier League squad.
No, but I'm talking about the Europa League. That's what I'm talking about.
Squad. Right.
Because unfortunately, with our squad, Europa League, unfortunately, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland are looked as foreign players, and Dyer's a foreign player as well because he came from Portugal academy, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it winds everybody up. Trust me.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Trust me. It's hurting Tottenham. It's hurting Tottenham. That's why selling Ali means absolutely nothing. It's no point in selling Ali. It's not going to make no difference whatsoever in January. But anyway, I'm like I said, I think my expectations was top 4 this season.
Yeah.
Okay. It's always been top 4. And like I said, I'm not interested. I mean, it'll be a bonus if we get a Carabao Cup or FA Cup, but the top 4 is what is really the target, because it moves us forward. You know what I mean?
Are you confident in making top 4?
It's a long season. I'm not confident because and it's not against Tottenham. It's just that Leicester were good. And I said to you, I've been saying Leicester are a very good team. I said to you, they have the attributes. They've got some good players there, players that we were after as well, which winds me up as well. But there are teams there that can have got our number, because they're not stupid. Unlike Arsenal and Man City, who just play to our tune of just trying to attack us, and then we can play on the counter attack. Some teams are not stupid, and Leicester are not going to be stupid. You see, and unfortunately, you could see that they were going to defend for their lives. The goal that Maddison scored, I don't know why that was chalked off. His arm was offside. You can't score with your arm when you're offside. It was like Son last season against Leicester. His arm was offside. That's ridiculous.
Some say it was payback from last season.
Yeah, I guess so. It's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? We just have to just keep on going. Take each game that comes and then take it from there. But what I would say to Tottenham fans, especially you, Ben and Sim, don't listen to the talk about us being bottlers. Don't listen to it. It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I've never heard such rubbish in my whole life, because they're the same people that said that we're title contenders. And they're all talking about Mourinho and saying, oh, Mourinho's this, Mourinho's that. He's absolutely fantastic. Oh, they're great. They're fantastic. And now they're saying that we're bottlers. We're Spursy, I've heard. which
They're bandwagon jumpers. They're all. That's all they are.
exactly, and it's absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that we're brilliant, but it's work in progress. You know what I mean? So
I agree with you.
you know, and it's
We
going
know
to take
Kelly
time.
even been here a year.
Exactly. So, you know, as I said, I'm not talking about the pragmatic football. I don't like. It's not because I don't like Jose because of pragmatic football. Because there's two different ways of playing. But I do think he does need to look at the defence in terms of he needs to try and figure out how to play a high line and try and get us up the field more further. And we need players that are going to have more energy. So, unfortunately, I think Birdwin. I'd like to see Birdwin in the team because he needs to develop further. We need to try and figure out how to get Undembele and Marcelo working. And we need to try and get Ali in the team as well. And I think we've got to stop relying too much on, you know, having this perception of having Bell, Son, and Kane. For me, it's not about that anymore. It's about energy and trying to play fast play. You know, because if you've got a low block, and now teams are going to look at that now against Leicester and think, okay, that's the way to play against Tottenham. Now that's the way to play against Tottenham. Now you see, so. I think now we're going to have to try and figure out another way of playing and trying to look at a different place, you know, to try and figure out a different system in trying to win games now. Because, you know, we can't always just rely on just playing deep and playing on the counter attack anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you, Alex.
We have to rewind the Højbjerg Sissoko pivot because I think it just when we're chasing a game, I don't know if it works as well.
Sissoko, I mean, as I said, Sissoko does his job, and I mean, like I said, you can't have a go at him for his work rate. You know what I mean? He does what he does, and that's it. Højbjerg can't do it on his own. I think it's partnerships. We've got a partnership in Son and Kane, but we can't rely on Son and Kane because the thing is, though, Kane's going to get injured this season. He will get injured this season. Unfortunately, he has an injury every season, doesn't he? So players are going to have to step up. And also, Jose is going to have to realise he's got to talk. He's got to be the man. You know, I know that he's in his mental to be honest with people, but I think sometimes it looks now that players are going to look at him and think, you know, the only time they're going to look at him and think, okay, we're going to listen to him if we win something, okay. And I think that's when it's going to lift off. I've got issues whether it's going to be a Carabao Cup or FA Cup. You know, if it's a major trophy, I think it will lift up in terms of, you know, the belief will, you know, go up more. You see what I'm saying? But I think at the moment, I think Jose has just got to just learn to keep keep the mental side of the game well with some of these players. You know, because some of the players haven't got any confidence. You can see some of the players haven't got any confidence at the moment, and he needs to keep them on side. He needs to keep them on side. You know, and then if he keeps them on side and keeps the good feeling in the team, we can carry on and hopefully do well this season. But he needs to keep it good. You know, he can't go off from one. You know, because if he does, it could fall, and that's where I'm a bit worried at the moment. This is going to be a test for Tottenham at the moment, and hopefully we can get through this. And this is the moment where we can hopefully get through these things. You know, this is where we can see whether the mentality is actually changed. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm hoping that we can, you know, just be a little bit more optimistic, not listen to the noise from other people, other teams, and just, you know, move forward. And let's just say that, and let's just keep on going. And lastly, I just want to say as well, I hope you, Sim, are going to be okay. I hope you're okay because I heard that you've had to self-isolate. So I hope you're okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm fine now. It's, I haven't tested positive. My dad, who I live with, he's tested positive. So because I live with him, I have to self-isolate. Thankfully, everyone in the house at the moment is doing okay.
I hope your dad gets well. I hope your dad gets well as well. And also, I've got to say, your granddad was so sweet earlier. I've got to say, he was so sweet earlier. That made me laugh. That just made me chuckle. The way that he said about his 2 goals and stuff like that. It just made me laugh, to be honest with you. And I just, you know, guys, it's hard. It's hard. You know, yesterday was hard because of what the announcement from the government and stuff like that. But I think, you know, let's you know, at the end of the day, it's football. You know, we just have to just get on with it and just, like, you know, just take it how it is. You know what I mean? You know, we just live to fight another day. You know, we're all Spurs fans at the end of the day. Dave's right. You know, I love Dave. I think he was a bit angry, to be honest with you, because he wouldn't say anything to me. So I think he was really angry, to be honest with the result. So, you know what I mean? But, you know, but at the end of the day, we can keep on going, you know, and hopefully we can achieve something this season, and hopefully for me, top 4. And that's it.
Alex, I think that's the best call we've had from you.
Yeah, probably. I was about to say that as well. Very, very good stuff, Alex.
Absolutely loved every second of it. Not going to lie, I think I'm loving the positivity that's brewing out of you after a game like that today.
Mate, you know what? It's just honesty. You know what I mean? I'm just honest. You know, it is not great, but and I want to beat Leicester. I don't like Leicester, but I knew that this was going to be a difficult game. You know, but I don't want to take too much of your time, guys, because I know Josh wants to come on and stuff like that as well. So yeah.
All right, Alex, thanks a lot for coming on today. Hopefully, we'll get to chat to you on Wednesday night as well.
Yeah, definitely. Good on. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
Cheers. We got a couple of super chats here. One from Will Stewart saying, Dyer played well. The Lo Celso injury took Son out of position and out of the game. Bale never got enough of the ball to get into the game. He did okay. I'm not sure he did do that okay. Colin Lumsden says, support this channel. They support our team. You're damn right we do.
Exactly.
But I don't know if you've seen, Ben. There's been some...
I haven't seen.
There's been some like concerning stuff surrounding Ben Borman. He's been posting some stuff on social media. I hope he's okay.
Really? What's happened?
I don't know. He's posted a video, some video on YouTube and on Twitter. I haven't quite seen the full thing, but it's quite worrying.
I know that he's had some worrying things happen in the past.
I hope he's all right. If everyone just sends him love, or if anyone knows anywhere where he is or anything, please do let people know. Because
I'll try message him after I get on off air, because that is really.
He seems to be suggesting some worrying things.
Oh God.
I hope he's okay.
Well, if you guys do know him or know of him, please send him some loving messages, because it seems like he actually needs it. So please do that. Send him some messages for support and some love, because I think we all need it sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely agree.
But anyway, let's bring Josh on. Last call of the day.
What's happening, boys?
Yes,
Can
Josh.
you see me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I don't know. My screen's a bit blank at the moment. A bit like the shots we're firing, mate. To be honest, I just wanted to check you lot can see me. Oh, mate, when we having samosas again, man? I mean, how long's it been? A week?
It's been longer, since Arsenal.
Mate, I'm dying for a samosa, man. I'd do anything for even just the crumbs at the moment. You know, it's just no points at the moment, and I'm just like I'm pissed off with the team. I'm not pissed off. I'm pissed off with Mourinho, because I think Mourinho needs to motivate the team to play a certain way, whether it's counter, whether it's possession. And I'm pissed off with players not having enough discipline to do their jobs individually. And if you look at the game and you watch it back in slow-mo and you watch it 3 times, the amount of mistakes that the players are making, probably to do with lack of confidence, probably to do with lack of motivation, probably because they're at the scary heights at the top of the league and they don't know what it feels like, and it's a bit nervous up there, and some of them are a bit scared because they don't know how to deal with the situation. The press is on you, the eyes are on you, everyone's waiting for you guys to fail. And what have we gone and done? We've gone and done exactly what all the Spurs haters and rivals wanted us to do, which is drop points. And that comes down to character. And for me, Mourinho's a winner, guys. We know this from his record, right? There's no doubt about Mourinho being a winner. I'm starting to look at the players now and say, you guys need to individually look at your personal characters and the discipline you bring on the pitch. The first goal, Serge Aurier did what Serge Aurier does. Some things don't change, and Serge Aurier is one of them, right? He does what he does every season. And what do we have to do to get in this guy's head? Do we have to get him in a lab, take his brain out, find that very bit in his brain that makes him do this? That do this thing every few games. He does this stupid mistake. I mean, we thought Serge had improved, but again, he went back to the old Serge today. And the second goal, Lucas Moura, what are you doing, mate? You've lost the ball trying to be Rivaldo in the middle of the park, and then you're walking back. I'm watching that live, right? He's walking back, and if you watch it again, he's walking back like he's walking in the park. He might have a dog. seriously, he might as have had a little poodle there because he was walking that slow. And by the time, I think it was, who's the English player who crossed it in? Albrighton. Albrighton's got the ball and he's got about, seriously, he could have like called his mum. That's how much time he had. He had so much time to pick out Vardy because Mora didn't track him back. And if you look at Højbjerg, he's pointing to that space. Who's got the space? Because Højbjerg's in the middle and he's trying to marshal that space to the right. And where's Mora? He's on the halfway line. He's on the halfway line. He thinks he's on Copacabana Beach, mate. Thinks he's in Rio de Janeiro, blood. What's going on? Where are you, mate? You lost the ball. You're supposed to die for your teammates. Champions don't sit back and have a cigar when they lose the ball. Champions win the ball back. How many champions are in that team? And that's what annoyed me about the second goal, because we were a little bit in the ascendancy then. We were starting to create a couple of little patterns of play. And I thought, right, 1-1, and we'll get this game and we'll win this 2-1 for sure. I was thinking, just get that equaliser and then Leicester will hopefully panic. What does Mora do? He doesn't track back. They score. And I think it was Sissoko gets done by Vardy. Vardy, that little skinny little pube, that little curly pube bent over him and headed it in. I mean, how is this happening, guys? I mean, the guy's a beast. Sissoko's a beast. He's an absolute beast. How is he let that little pube do that to him? I'm just really annoyed with the discipline in the camp right now. There's probably 5 or 6 putting their heart on the line, and there's 5 or 6 who are not putting their heart on the line. And Jose needs to get into these players tomorrow morning, or whenever it is, on Tuesday, when I think they have a day off tomorrow. Not that I think they deserve it. He should make them come in at 10 o'clock and say, listen, I'm going to watch that game back with you, every single part of that game, and we're going to dissect who made the mistake, just like he did behind the scenes in the documentary. Some of them players need to be told to their faces that they're not putting in 100%, they're putting in 75%. And I don't care what the salary is, if it's Kane, Alderweireld, Dyer, whoever it is, they need to speak into you guys, because the way we're going at the moment, that performance was not even, I wouldn't even give that a 5 out of 10. What was the tactics? What, counter-attacking? What do you go into a game to counter-attack when you're not 1-0 up? When you go into a game, especially against Leicester, you take the game to Leicester. You don't counter-attack like you've got 2 goals in the bag. We went into that game like we're 2-0 up. And I don't mind counter-attacking football. I think it's a fantastic art in football. You know, you can, hold back and fire when you need to. And I totally get all of that great non-possession football, but only if you've got goals in the bag. If you ain't goals in the bag, what are you countering? There's nothing to counter. You're just basically hoping that they don't score and then countering. Let's score the goal. Let's take the game to the opposition. We've got 5 nice, straightforward, on paper games. Wolves away starting next one. Stoke we got on Wednesday. We should do them over, right? And then that should give the guys a little bit of a pump. But all the players tonight, bar Sonny, bar Kane, and maybe bar Højbjerg, need to all look at themselves tonight. Even Winksy came in, to be fair, he gave it all. The character is the first thing you bring on the pitch. Before you bring your boots on, you got to feel like a champion, go out there like a champion and behave like a champion. We didn't act like champions today. We acted like, honestly, like we were the Leicester team. We were at home. We didn't take the game to Leicester. And I'm really pissed off with Lucas Moura, and I'm pissed off with Serge Aurier tonight. And I don't care that he scored that hat-trick in Ajax. He needs to get over that. That's gone, mate. That's you're still on a high from that game. You need to come back to earth, mate. You need to perform, because, if they're not good enough, get them out, right? Get them out, because I can't have Spurs players not trying. I'm happy to lose if we give it your all. But if you don't give it your all, you shouldn't be putting on the shirt. End of story, guys. That doesn't matter who you are. Don't put on the shirt if you're not going to run back and help your teammates out. And Lucas Moura, I'm holding you out to dry, mate. You absolutely flopped it tonight. And we potentially would have stopped that second goal if you had run back and tracked back.
But Josh, how do you look at how do we pick ourselves up from here? How do we kind of get back to what we were before that West Ham game? Going gung-ho at the other team, and also, what do you think we can achieve this season now?
Listen, are the players losing trust in Jose Mourinho? Is Jose Mourinho losing trust in the players? Is it a blip?
That can't happen so quickly, losing trust. Come on.
No, this is it. But are certain players reading what the press say, because the press have battered us this week, saying that, we're not playing football, we're not expansive, and Harry Kane's going to go because he doesn't like it there, and eventually these players are going to turn.
Don't listen to Michael Owen, mate. No one listens to Michael Owen.
Yeah, Michael Owen's a complete twat, right? Who goes from Liverpool to Man United? I mean, where did he go? He went Man City. I mean, the guy's a complete idiot, right? Don't listen to him. You can't even commentate. But generally, haters have been saying Tottenham don't play expansive football, right? Are the players reading this? Are they watching it? Are they lost, or are they fully in belief of Mourinho's tactics and giving it their all? I put a question mark on that point. Are they actually 100% invested in his tactics? It works when it worked against the big teams, Man City, possession football. Liverpool, I think we were unlucky, to be honest. We played well. But today we didn't have to play like that. Today we had to just take the game to Leicester. And is it Mourinho putting out the wrong tactics and the players going, but it's Leicester, guys. Why is Jose telling us to do this? Or is it Mourinho saying, go out there and do this, and they are not implementing their instructions? There's a lack of communication in the camp. And I think when there's a lack of communication in any relationship, the best thing you could do is have an open chat. So these boys tomorrow or Tuesday need to come in, right, take off their Rolexes, leave their Lamborghinis in the car park and put the keys away for a minute, put the iPhones down, because don't listen to news, have a man-to-man conversation about, did you give your all in that game? And when they have that, they will clear the air. And once they've cleared the air, I want to see them go out and Stoke and batter them 3-4-0 and show the rest of the league and us, the fans, the most important people and part of the club, is that, do you know what? We are united. We are a team. Because if we don't perform against Stoke, the press is going to love it. The press is like butterfingers right now. They're loving writing these headlines because everyone hates Tottenham. It's not just Arsenal, Chelsea, and West Ham. Everyone hates Spurs, and I think I know the reason why. Sorry, and Jose, he's the most. You're absolutely right, guys. He's the most hated manager, and we are one of the most hated clubs in this country. And I sometimes think I know the reason why, and I wouldn't want to say it on air. But whatever it is, it is. But we have to fight for our shirt and our club. And I think these players, right, need to just get in a room. I mean, I wish I was there because I'd give it to them. Need to get in a room and say, right, hands up, which one of you was an 8 out of 10? Hands down, which one of you was a 7? Which one of you was a 4? And if you're a man, you'll put your hand up and say, I was a 4. Lucas Moura, you was a 4, mate. You was a 4, mate. Yeah, you were off the pace. Serge Aurier, put your hand up and be a man and admit your mistakes. That's what I want to see from the Tottenham players. It's a shame Amazon are not there, you know, to show it all. But I think that's what they need to do, guys, because right now I'm seeing a team which doesn't have synchronization in the way that we should be playing as per Jose's tactics. We seem to be happy to go ahead and score a goal if and when that comes, which is not happening at the moment. But when it comes to the hard grit of grinding out tackles, winning second balls, and being, you know, an absolute fox, and I hate to use the word fox because we got done by foxes today, but being an absolute lion out there, I'm seeing some of these players. Have you got heart? Have you got the energy and the balls? Or do you want to finish 6th, 4th, pick up your wages, go home, live in your fancy house and retire? Because you know what, my question mark's out tonight, because I wasn't expecting that tonight. I sat down today happy and I thought we're going to win this and we're going to be putting the Liverpool pressure back on. And I'm just completely gutless and spineless today because the boys surprised me, man. And I don't know about you guys, but the boys surprised me tonight. It wasn't what I was expecting.
Look, at the end of the day, it's hard to disagree at the moment. It really is. It's hard to disagree, and I think that it's painful. This last week has been really painful. Starting with that Palace draw, everyone was like, "Yeah, Palace is a hard place to go. It's a draw. A lot of good teams will draw there." But then Liverpool go and win 7-0 there. Then you got the Liverpool game. Everyone's like, "Yeah, we played well. We could have won that game against the champions, against the best team in Europe last 2 years." And then this performance comes to top it all off.
I just wonder, right? Ben and Sim, I wonder, boys, if these boys have forgot how to actually play football and only know how to play counter-attacking football. I actually think, do you guys go back to the training ground tomorrow, Tuesday, and say, right, guys, counter-attacking we're good at. We've proven that we can do that. We nearly scored today with that, with Son going through. But maybe they need to work on possession football now, because it's got to be a mixed bag. You can't be one-dimensional in the Premier League against top teams. And this is what they need to do, is sit down and say, right, guys, you know, when you're a kid, or if you've got a kid, you give him the ball. The first thing you do is don't ask him to shoot. You tell him to pass it back. Football is a passing game, and the team needs to feel happy. When you've got the ball, you feel creative. You feel you can do some damage. This counter-attacking football, I just wonder if the teams knows no other way. And I mentioned it on last week's call that we need to switch up our styles of play. And I feel like had we had more possession in that first half, we would have controlled the game. You can't control the game without the ball. You can to a certain extent if you score on a counter, but otherwise, if the counter's not working, you control the game by passing around, bringing the opposition out. And maybe the boys want to play that Poch way. Maybe they're not all in for this Jose way. We're going to see question marks. We're going to see answers in the next few weeks. We've got 5 games which we should win on paper. You know, let's forget tonight, onwards and
The
upwards.
most
You know,
frustrating thing for me, Josh, is just that when this season, when we have wanted to attack, and we've had games where we have attacked, we've looked good. Going forward.
what?
We've had games where we've created loads of chances and
Do you know
scored
what?
loads of scored goals.
I made the mistake of mentioning that we had a little bit of Barcelona in us the last call, or the call before it was, and I said we're playing some good interplay football. I want to see interplay football. I want to see the ball move around between the Spurs shirts, not the opposition. We have got it, but is Jose so obsessed with this being a C and being such a hard nut and taking it on the chest and then counter-attacking? Does Jose need to wake up and smell the coffee, or is it the players not having the confidence to play that type of football when the time is right? Ultimately, you blame the manager, guys, and that's the way football works. Yeah, you blame the manager.
Mourinho in his press conference again said that the players they didn't do what he said. That's what he's saying again.
This is it. So either he's blaming the players or he's telling the truth. Now, we don't know the truth, right? The players know the truth. They talk about the tactics before the game. But is he blaming the players and doing what Mourinho, let's be honest, can do? And we've seen him do in the past, and that's kind of his way of shying away from responsibility. Or is he telling the players, I want you to do this, and the players are not doing it? Now, if you listen to Toby's interview yesterday, in the papers, Toby says, it's not, people don't like us. It's not the most expansive football, but we're proud of it, and we're going to do it this way, and we're not embarrassed to play this way. So who's telling the truth? Is it Jose?
No,
or is
but
it the players?
you actually read Toby's interview from yesterday. He also said we do like to play. It's not all about counter-attacking. He said we do like to play high-intensity attacking football with possession as well. It's all about timing. It's all about when we play which system when. And he said
so today, who makes the choice on the field how they play football? I don't think it's Lloris, because it comes from the manager. I even think give Højbjerg the armband. Give him the armband. He acts like a captain. He's vocal. He's the most vocal player in the team, right? Let's be honest. Harry Kane might be the best, but barely speaks. This boy speaks and shouts and tells you to your face when you're not performing, like he pointed at Mora for that second goal. Why not get Højbjerg in place to dictate the play and the tactics? Because, guys, football is 90 minutes, but there's phases in every game in the way the game's changing. If you look at the game today, Leicester came out with a high press. They realized it was working. They continued playing. We didn't push them back. So why would they change the way they play if they're getting success from it? However, we weren't getting success in the first half. What did we do to change the game? Not a lot. I didn't see any tactical major change. I didn't see any change of formation or system, or even instruction to say, go and play more expansive football.
I think he made a change, and then the Celso got injured a minute into half time, and it kind of scuppered everything.
It was a bit late. I'm talking about transitions in the game when you're 20 minutes in, and Hugo's at the back, and no one can hear him. So you've got to get someone like Højbjerg say, guys, you go there, right? Because Jose's quiet with that stern look, right? And he's not. He wasn't yelling to them. It was very quiet at the back, and I don't know what to read of that. Where's the vocal Jose that was yelling at the players? Even the second in charge, I forgot his name. Where was he? So where is our switch of style? Where is our change of play? And is the captain, Hugo Lloris, the right man for the job? I'm not so sure, guys. Give it to Højbjerg. Vocal on the pitch, just like Hendo did it for Liverpool. Give it to Højbjerg. Give him the armband. Test him out. Say, Lloris, sorry, mate. I know you're a goalkeeper, but we can't hear you at the back because you're kind of in the background, mate. I want to see Højbjerg giving the captaincy. I want to see switches of play, and I want to see transitional play, not just a counter-attacking style, but I want to see the team change the way they play during the game, in-game management. We lack that at the moment, guys. It's just the same football for me at the moment. And listen, we're not going to finish top four if we carry on playing like we did today against Crystal Palace. Yes, it was an error against Crystal Palace, but let's be honest, we invited them in, We're literally saying, right, everyone come to our house and play. I'm not sure that tactic's going to last us the whole season. Yes, against Man City. Yes, against Chelsea. Yes, against maybe some of these other teams, but not against Leicester, not against Wolves next week. But if he plays the same way against Wolves next week, I'm putting question marks on Mourinho, because does the man know what he's doing? But let's see what happens.
All right. Let's see what happens, Josh. We dust ourselves off. Let's try get some positivity on us for Wednesday, because we could be going to a semi-final on Wednesday night. So
what's the chat before something's happened? What's his name? I want to send him a message. Is he on social media?
Yeah, he's on Twitter. His name is Ben Spurs 21.
Cool.
So he has a YouTube channel, but send him some messages of love, because
absolutely, man. Spurs family, football aside, we stick together, and I'm going to do that for sure in a minute.
Exactly. Thanks, Josh.
Respect, guys. Samosas on Wednesday, yeah?
Samosas on Wednesday.
come on.
It's a cup game, so there's no 3 points, but we'll take samosas anyway.
You bring the chutneys, you bring the wine, I'll bring the samosas, and we should be in the quarterfinals on Wednesday, and then onwards and upwards, guys. Not too much moaning, but yeah, man. I mean, it's hard to take. It really is, and gonna need a few bottles of wine tonight. But good luck, boys, and see you on Wednesday.
Cheers, Josh, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Come on.
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on.
All right, that's it.
So that is that. That is the end of the fan show today. Leicester 2, Tottenham 0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Just a quick update as well. Looks like United winning 6-2 at the moment.
So they go above us.
And everyone seems to be closing on the goal difference as well. We had the best goal difference in the league, and not anymore, I don't think.
So right now, as the table stands, Leicester. I'm not even going to talk about Liverpool. Liverpool first on 31. Leicester second on 27. Man United 26th, third. Everton 26th, fourth. And Tottenham fifth with 25 points. And
that's how tight it is. Look, it's a tight league. A couple wins you're up there, and a couple of losses you're down there. That's how it is. That's why you have to keep your consistency.
Man City below that on 23, Chelsea 22, even West Ham on 21 points, you know. It's a very, very tight league, and it looks like anyone in that top 10 can make the top 4 this year.
Well, no, look, it's very early. It's still 14 games in, so...
Well, 13 for some.
13, 14, yes, exactly. See, I think the biggest, best barometer is when it hits the halfway point, 19 games, then you can really see where people are at. After 14 games and people have games in hand and everything, it's hard to see. But obviously, obviously early on, yeah, everyone can make top 4, but we'll have to see how it goes the latter part of the season.
Yeah, of course. But the way it's going at the moment, we need to start winning games. Otherwise, we're going to start falling behind.
Yeah, everyone needs to win games.
Yeah, but I'm interested in Tottenham.
I know. I'm just saying, like, of course we need to win games, but so does everyone.
Yeah. All right, so that is it. Thanks for joining. Thank you, everyone that called in today. If you didn't get in today, please try again on Wednesday night. There was a big queue today, so if you didn't get in, I'm sorry about that, but we will try and get you on a Wednesday night. Thanks for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.